Okay. Woohoo! There. Is that too far?
I don't think so.
I was just trying to get the door out of it. Let me just shut the door a little bit more.
There. You have to like tilt it that way.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Start again.
Hi, guys.
Hey, guys. It's Michelle
And Lindsay
with ADHD How To and
WTF.
So, real quick. So the disclaimer, I'm gonna do it right this time. We are not medical professionals. Anything that we say should not be taken as medical advice. It is just from our own research, experiences, and and our opinions. So do not take this as medical advice. We also do not discuss medication. We are both medicated and we believe in it, but we do not push it. We do not promote specific kinds. I won't lie, I forget all the time. And even though we do not mention medication names, we say that I forget and I say my medication name all the time. I try not to. Also, just really quick, if we ever tell a story that involves other people in our life, it should not be taken as a direct reflection of something completely accurate. I say that meaning we change the genders, the locations, some will pick from different scenarios when we're using it to give an example. If you know Lindsay or you know me, and you have ever confided us in any capacity, we swear to you, we will not share your secrets. We will not. We're not going to out you. So, and I said the other day, there's going to be times if you know, especially if you know me, because I talk a lot. There might be things that you're like, oh my gosh, is she about to reveal something? Or it might hit you and you're like, this is definitely about me, right?
Right. So we have to say this because we know there's RSD out there, rejection syndrome dysphoria. And no, we are just trying to convey other people's situations in a way that brings it to the people, basically, right? It's not,
Yes.
We're not trying to talk bad or about anybody. We are just trying to help and
never judging, never shaming. No, so I did when I was doing my series about the avoidance this week, I'm not judging or shaming when I talked about the chicks that don't need to try to lure dudes in by just posting their bodies.
Oh, well, they'll have to look at that link.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
We can share that.
Yes. So we're not judging, not shaming. Anyway, and we will never, ever, ever divulge anyone's information. There might be bits and pieces that sound familiar, but we would never embarrass somebody or whatever.
So that being said,
we actually have one person that has joined
Thank
us.
you for joining us.
Josh, is it you? Some people,
whoever it is, let us know in the chat. They
prefer to stay anonymous. Sometimes I had to give that disclaimer too,
which is fine.
We have a lot of subscribers that they have their things set to private,
right?
And so I'm like, yeah, if you don't want us to know who you are, we don't know who you are.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, today we want to try and touch on the new age language. What's that? Well, if you have an older parent or when were they born? 50s to 70s, maybe.
I'm trying to just get rid of that thing over in the chat. You keep going. That little thing there is driving me nuts.
And sometimes they might have like the way that they deal with situations or give advice or whatnot. Basically, it just doesn't really work with today.
Yeah,
so
okay.
That's what we mean by new age language. So I could just jump right in, or do you want to?
Yeah. So because this was, I'm really excited about this topic. You did a lot of research.
I think they're okay.
That was a huge. We film up in my classroom, like we always say, and it is very much real life, and the kids are very much cranked up to 40 today, but that's okay. They're absolutely fine. Yeah, I was about to add in, just so you know, so there's no RSD. I'm not any kind of way. Okay.
All good. Yes.
No. All of our kids are neurodivergent.
Yes.
So it is what it is.
Yes, it is. Okay. So basically why we're bringing this up is the new language emphasizes conscious communication. Conscious communication, emotional intelligence, and mutual respect. So we're like, hey, what is that? Okay. If you've ever heard somebody say, stop crying. You're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are they okay? No, they're crying. But okay. So part of what we're talking about here is instead of fixing it, validate it. I see you're feeling really sad right now. It's okay to cry when you're upset.
I told you I had to at least get
You're
a
so funny.
lollipop.
I'm like, so it's a stim, and I was like, just pet your hair, it's fine, which I do sometimes when I have to go in my car, and I'm like, and I sit there and I'm driving, and then every couple of minutes, I'm
Part
like,
of it too is just
putting hair
dry.
out.
It's dry mouth.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you want to just do some too, what kind of phrases and why they hurt and what we can do, because man, this does not work for our kids at all. Like,
Yes.
and guess what? It never actually worked for the older generation too.
Well, that's why all of us nowadays, everything I know, people are like, that's all you talk about is trauma from when you were a kid, blah, blah, blah.
Look, that is her inner voice talking. And I actually have that written down here. This is exactly, each of these phrases carries an invisible legacy. They shape your self-talk, your relationships, and even your body stress responses. So somewhere back in the day, they were like, nobody cares what Michelle thinks. We don't want to hear it. And that's what her inner voice is going, I can't be saying this. I can't be saying this.
But you just therapy me.
But it's untrue. Yes.
She just pegged me. Now we have two people. I don't know who's there, but hey,
welcome.
Howdy. Yes. Okay.
Thank you for joining us.
That is absolutely right, actually. Because I would, and I'm not going to do the voice this time. I'm going to try not to. That's why so many, like in our age, that's why we're all just now this
late diagnosed.
Yes. It's things that happened when we were young, the way that we were talked to, the way that we were treated, the way that we were made to feel, literally, as far as our voices, our opinions, how we were told how we were allowed to be, and how we were allowed to respond to things.
That's right. Yes.
I don't think this is widely practiced right now. I say my husband too, we make a big point to show our kids respect. Oh, Maggie.
Hey,
she
Maggie.
might need to nap soon. Oh, just real quick, I do want to say, so
go ahead.
I am waiting on a very important phone call.
You're saying you might disappear.
I might have to.
Good thing I have literature here.
Yes, I might have to disappear.
Okay.
So
you were saying, see, we interrupt ourselves and then we're like, what?
Oh, no. So,
okay, good.
We make sure that we treat our kids with respect. And talking about the old school way of thinking and stuff, man, if I had told my mom, like, oh, you need to treat me with respect, should have been like, I'll respect your ASS. I'm trying to. That's unheard of.
Right.
But it sets an example of, like, because she talked to me, talked down to me so bad.
That's right.
And I knew that if I were to say a peep, I'd get clocked. And so it teaches you, I have to be quiet.
That's right.
I have to, please stop.
It's the boys.
I have to be quiet. I cannot say what I think. I cannot say what I feel.
Right.
I cannot get my point across. Which then manifests into, now that we've talked about this before, now that I'm an adult, I've gone through therapy, I am very much an over-explainer, and I am stubborn as hell about making sure that my voice is heard and my point gets across, and that I am not misunderstood, which a lot of times it ends up with me like way over explaining, but
that's okay.
It goes back to that whole, like, nobody's gonna tell me that I can't get my feelings out.
Yes.
I will be damned if somebody's gonna tell me what to do.
Right. But when we were younger, it leads to masking and or fawning. Right?
What's fawning?
Fawning is mostly on the, it's a fight, flight. It's part of a mode. It's just like masking, but it is kind of like bowing down. It goes along with what somebody's saying. It's like,
yes,
like, you just punched me in the face and I thank you for it.
Does
that sound okay?
Oh, yeah, that sounds like,
thank you for teaching me that lesson.
That sounds like,
but you go away. So that is a stress trauma response mechanism that was somehow trained into you to do when you were younger.
Which then also
fight, flight, freeze, and fawn.
Okay, exactly. Yeah, I know. So I knew what fawning in that sense, but I didn't know if like it was an acronym or whatever. That actually the fawning thing, I'm obsessed with attachment types right now. It's so fascinating. But the fawning actually, when you do have that, that is part of becoming an anxious attachment person
type,
because you worry so much. You're like, because you feel like your love has to be earned. You feel like you have to be, I have to always agree with this person. I got to walk on eggshells.
That's right.
I can't upset them because if I step out of line, they're going to pull their love away.
Yep.
And if you're an anxious attachment type, it comes with the RSD too, what does RSD stand for?
Rejection sensitive dysphoria.
Yes, I keep looking there instead of there. Oh, well, y'all, I apologize. I'm going to touch my hair. It's a stem.
Yes,
I'm going to look at the wrong
That's okay.
camera.
Touching the hair, it's a perfectly valid stem because this is your podcast, our podcast.
Yes.
So you can do that. So yes, man, that's really good. It does go to that type. Okay. So we're going to go over some phrases and then we're going to try and define why they're bad and just kind of random stuff. Cause obviously there are a lot out there, but I wanted to hit on some that were so, like I already did say that one. Stop crying. You're okay. But it really, I can't believe that anyway.
Tell about Lillian.
Oh, well, okay. So this past week or weekend, I don't know the time, my daughter, she got upset. She was going away. We were going upstairs and she was crying. And my husband, her father says, stop crying. Right. And she said, Lillian turns around. She goes, you can't tell me to stop crying. This is my emotion. It is mine. That is the one thing I can do is like, you can't tell me how my emotions are going to be. And I was just like, yes. But so all week I had been obsessing about this old language to the new generation, especially us neurodivergent. It just does not work for us. It doesn't compute. It's not okay. It makes, just like we talked about, it can make you mask more, fawn more. No.
That just now. Okay. So I don't do well. Like I have very few notes, very few. Lindsay, because she is so much better than me. No, it goes back to the different ADHD types.
It's okay.
The different ADHD types.
And those things.
She's so prepared. I do better if it's on the fly. So what do you have? No, so what you were just saying about the like being told stop crying.
Mm-hmm.
Just how the fawning, like I said, that when you feel like your love, like you have to earn it and stuff, and you start fawning, that will lead to you being an anxious attachment type person. But at the same time, and I've been an anxious attachment person at various points in my life and gone through different seasons of that. And it's awful. And for me, because it goes back what I'm just about to say, because I've primarily been an avoidant type, when I've gone through seasons of anxious.
Okay. And is that like,
I recognize that I'm in it and it makes me furious. But your nervous system will not allow you to climb out of it. And so now that I'm like, wow, out of it, and I'm back to like secure, I still have a little bit of avoidant. And a lot of times people think, and I just posted a thing yesterday about the disappearing dopamine. If you're an avoidant, I guarantee you, if there is any,
like that,
I will. Yeah. So if there's anybody, if you have an avoidant personality, I guarantee you've been called a narcissist before, and probably multiple times. And I've been there. So I say that to say, when you did grow up and you're told, don't cry, don't do that. You're told what to do with your emotions. Because back in the day, I am very, very proud of Jack for the way that he responded to it. Because back in the day, it
was a command.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So I was going to say we have to replace the commands with collaborative language. That is what we're working on.
All these things that we're saying, even though, yes, and they will lead to much happier, healthier kids. This is not some hippy dippy, woke thing, because a lot of people think that mental health is woke. No, mental health is keeping your kids from
this
being depressed.
I also saw this as
horrible.
something called gentle parenting, but I'm sorry, I can't really go with that. This is just parenting. This has okay. So all right.
So real quick. So what I was going to say about when you are told how you're supposed to be made to feel.
Yes.
Or you learn, okay, if I don't respond in this way,
in that perfect way that they do, that
you either turn to fawning, or primarily what I did, I became an avoidant, and I'm like, all of y'all.
Okay, so it also could be shut down too, because that's
what I mean. Yeah, shut down.
Right.
Yeah, avoidant attachment is shut down.
Oh, okay.
Where
because
it's like,
I would just shut down in my teenage year. It would just be like done. I just couldn't talk. There was just
I'm like, I will be damned if someone is going to control how I am made to feel. But you also, because you have been trained that you can't bow up against your caretaker, back in the day.
I need my water.
So instead, you shut down. You go cold.
Right.
This is right here. You shut down. You go cold. You disappear because you weren't. Well, if you're a cycle breaker, even if you were raised in a house where there was abuse and stuff, but if you're a cycle breaker, then you won't respond with like returning like anger and abuse and things like that. But you will, you're like, I'm just not going to engage in this. If something is too overstimulating to your nervous system, then you're going to go, I'm just going to remove myself from this. I'm not, if somebody's asking too much of you, if somebody if anybody is putting too much pressure on your nervous system, and it can be just too much communication, being clingy, being combative, too confrontational, anything that is triggering your fight or flight, especially, which I'll link it with the avoidant type, your chemical makeup, you don't have enough vasopressin, oxytocin, or serotonin. If you haven't checked it out, go look at my Biochemistry of an Avoidant and How to Break Through to One series.
Nice.
It's fascinating.
Well, that's another link we'll have to put. Okay.
Sorry. Yes.
No,
anyway.
That's totally fine.
So the causing you to suppress your emotions.
It does a lot of things. It really, truly does.
Yes.
Lot.
When you just under suppress it, you become an avoidant that will just shut down, vanish, disappear. Confrontation is extremely hard.
Yes, but also, I mean, just having a healthy way of dealing with things when you're older, it doesn't get through.
Have it.
Right. You don't get
have
through.
One.
Exactly. So that's what basically, okay. So let's get on to some words, because it's okay. That is exactly what these phrases do to your children, to a spouse, yes, there you go. Yeah. The dog's probably not going to care, but you shouldn't talk bad to your dog. So, okay. So here's what, all right. It's not that big of a deal. Again, I think we've covered that, where it's basically, you're telling somebody that their emotions don't matter. So
Perception is reality.
Exactly. So instead of minimizing their feeling, you're supposed to show empathy. I mean, come on, people. But I'm sorry. Okay. I understand I understand why that would be so frustrating to you. I'm sorry you're hurting, which I say this stuff all the time to my kids now. Because it happens like a lot. It's like every 2 seconds. And it's like, which time is this time? And I have to really watch it. And then I see, because this happened. Man, they're fast. Anyway.
We lost someone. Maggie, was it you that we lost?
We'll see. If she passed out, that's okay. All right. So you're acting like a baby.
I'm very guilty of saying that to Avery.
Okay. It's not good. So
I'm like slurping. I'm so sorry.
Yes. Stop eating. All right. Instead of shaming, separate behavior from feelings. That is the one that's the key. Behavior from feelings. So I understand you're upset, but hitting is not okay. I'm here to help you use your words. Now, I showed this to my mom and I said, Mom, this is what I'm going to talk about. And then she was like, oh, I recognize some of those phrases because she said them to me. One in particular that she would say would be, get over it. We'll get to that one. Anyway, so my mom said to me, she said, oh, Lynn, she goes, I hear you saying these things to your kids in the way that you should be, as trying to help them use their feelings. She says, but she's like, she's also deaf. She says, I don't hear much, but I do hear, she hears, use your words, don't hit that. So I just laughed. I thought it was so funny that that's what she told me after I read all this stuff. She goes, I hear you working on those kids.
That is like the biggest compliment in the. Yep. Dad just refreshed.
Awesome. Yeah, but I totally do. I'm like, use your words.
Oh, so it's your dad and your sister that are watching.
Yay! Excellent. Hi, Dad. Okay, so yes, that's what we're getting here at is collaborating over controlling.
Mom,
Yes.
I got pee.
Oh, well, I have to go. Good thing I have paper for you to, yep. Okay, you can't read those, but you can read these because they're nice and big. Yep. Be right back, guys. Okay, let's go, bye.
I don't have my. I keep looking at the wrong place. I don't have my readers on. I swore I wasn't going to eat, and then I did. So don't be so sensitive. This phrase often hides in families where emotions were brushed off. The message, your feelings are an inconvenience. Maggie, it's just you and your dad right now. Lindsay's going to kill me. I'll edit this out. I've got to finish chewing. She's going to kill me. I'll edit all of this out. Anyway, don't be so sensitive. Decades later, you may label yourself too sensitive or apologize for overreacting, even when your reaction is completely valid. Emotional invalidation in childhood often leads to self-doubt in adulthood. Instead of silencing your emotions, practice validating them. It makes sense that I feel this way. With time, sensitivity can become a strength. It allows for empathy, creativity, and deep connection. And then I think she just said this. Because I said so. No, she didn't. Because I said so. That's another one. When questions were met with this phrase, it shut down curiosity and dismissed your need for explanation. Over time, you may have learned not to trust your own judgment. At work or in relationships, you might hesitate to ask questions or fear speaking up because you anticipate dismissal. From a psychological perspective, this phrase fosters learned helplessness. The sense that your voice won't change anything, so why try? Oh my gosh, I see that
Right?
so
I was like, oh, this
much.
is just awful. All
so
of that.
much.
Ugh. Do you want to talk about that or how I can keep going? Whichever you want.
You keep going,
All right.
and then
Right. So, okay, this one's not at, it is still under here. Put your shoes on now. Right. So instead of demanding, offer a choice. Do you want to put your shoes on? Oh, wait, put your shoes or your jacket on first. That does always help with, yes, because
when they feel like they have control.
Right. Kids need options. Absolutely. Oh, I think you just did that because I said so. Cool. So here's the other one.
Yes.
This one says, instead of dictating, explain why. I need you to hold my hand when we cross the street. It's my job to keep you safe. Yes. Yep.
Especially with kids with ASD, knowing the why will prevent so many meltdowns.
Yes. Like doing that to my youngest, I explained to like the nth degree, and he's like, "Oh, okay, mom," and
it's
he
rationalized
just
and
absolutely
it's like
gets it, and he's
okay.
like, "Well, I'll do what you said now, mom." I'm like, "Wow," but anyway. So, okay, so here we are. Encouraging effort over praising results. Focus on the process and effort rather than the final outcome. This encourages a growth mindset and builds resilience.
This is what, like, basically the mission statement of my school is. I ask the kids, I'm like, if you get every single one of these questions wrong, am I going to be mad? No. You just can't say anything bad about yourself, and you can't not try. As long as you are actively trying, I don't care, because we aren't on a schedule. I can give you all the time in the world that you need. Pressure is not going to get results when
Right.
you're trying to bring up a neurodivergent child. You can't
Yes.
start with having them only operate under pressure, because then they're going to become the most results driven, stress filled, anxiety ridden human being on the planet. And they're going to place all of their self worth in their results from
Exactly.
everything.
That is right. Yep.
And so it really is. It is effort. That's what I push so much.
Yep.
In class.
Yes,
You just have to try.
That's right. Because well, along with what she's saying, these phrases like "you're a good boy," "you're a good girl," directly related to something they just did. Instead of tying worth
Depends on the context.
Well, instead of tying worth to behavior, right? Worth to behavior. That's not it. You're going, oh wow, I saw you helped your brother. That was very nice of you. That's great. I can't. The words escape me. I apologize. Yeah, I was like, how do I say that? Don't know. Anyway, yeah, there you go. It was very good.
I can't stop laughing this whole thinking about it. Being called a good girl.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It was very good of you to share your toys with your friend. Also, they said, okay, so good job. Instead of generic praise, be specific. I noticed you put all your toys away on your own. That was really helpful.
Yes.
That's the one I keep using too. Instead of like giving, I have to give my kids a. Okay.
Something strange has happened right over there, he says.
Yeah, I have to be specific with what they did that was great that I'm praising them for, because I don't want to make it so. Yeah. Anyway, now I'm. Well, that got me scattered a little bit. Okay.
Well, that goes back to how they say, like, for girls, don't always just compliment a little girl's appearance.
Right. Or, oh, you're so quiet. That's so great.
Yeah. Or it's not always, you are so pretty. Like, I do that too, but like, you are so smart. You are so artistic. You are so strong. You are so, I'm so proud of you.
No. Here, let me put you back in the jungle.
No.
He's like,
no.
Okay.
Well,
I need you to sit down then, sweetie. You can sit down. Yep.
What is it?
There we go. This is what it might be like when you start your own podcast with your kid there, just so you know.
But you know what?
Right.
It is what it is.
Yes, we were like, we can't not talk about this stuff. So we were like, well, the kids have to come because we're homeschooled. So there you go, sweetie. Right. All right. So
that's what life is.
Right. Focusing on outcome, praise effort. Okay. I got the brain.
Wow. It's all right.
Don't run. Modeling self-awareness over automatic reactions. Adults are encouraged to model emotional regulation by expressing their own feelings constructively and apologizing when they make mistakes. If you're watching this, you are probably neurodivergent, and we made a lot of mistakes because we didn't know that we were neurodivergent.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were like, wow, that's what's going on there. Okay. So yes, that's what happens now. Is obviously I have to tell the kids, I am so sorry about that. I got really frustrated with the situation that just happened, whatever. I don't have a good example right now. And then I say, I will have to try harder next time. And yeah.
I apologize all the time because I can't, in my opinion, and I go from how I was made to feel, I, in good conscience, can't expect Avery and AJ to behave the way I say if it's not the way I'm behaving. And
that's right. Yes.
Because I just know how little respect I had. No respect for my mom. The way that she talked to me was like I was a dog. And so I had zero respect for her. I knew that I could not pop off at the mouth, but it just made me the angriest. It was horrible.
Okay. Yeah. Because you weren't heard. That's
yeah. And so, but with my kid, like when I lash out at them because I'm stressed about something else, I will go, you know what? That was very unfair of me. Will you please forgive me? And so teaching them too, like AJ, a lot of times boys will have a hard time swallowing their pride, apologizing. Not my son. He will either in that moment, or he'll come back later and he'll go, you know what? It wasn't right for me to do this. I'm sorry. And so teaching your kids to not be too prideful, to take
ownership of their mistakes.
Yeah. Oh, to be accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, to take ownership and to not be afraid to say you're sorry.
Yes, that's definitely. Yeah. Along with that, I've been telling my daughter, I said, it is completely fine if you yell at me for something. I said, but we're going to talk about it. I said, I'd rather you tell me how you're feeling than not say anything at all. I said, if it's this, that, I said, we will work through it. I'm not going to be upset at you for telling me how you feel. I'm here. I'm here to help you through it.
It's funny that you said that, because AJ, he will hold his stress in for the sake of keeping the peace or not upsetting anyone. And then it will build and build until he'll just have an explosion. And so I will go on these drives and stuff. And I told him like about 2 months ago, I said, look, dude, I know I do things that stress you out. So I'm giving you permission. And there's been lots of times like this. I'm like, I'm going to step out of the role of your mom. You have a free pass to say anything you want to me.
Mm-hmm.
Anything. And I will not interrupt you. I will not dismiss it. If there's something that I need to just offer an explanation for to then help you understand it, I will. If there's anything that I need to take accountability for, I will. I want you to bring it to my attention. But I'm like, I give you a free pass. And like I said, about 2 months ago, what I did was, because he was so worked up, I said, I don't know what all things that I might have done, but I'm giving you a free pass, even if it's also venting about someone else. I'm giving you a free pass to cuss. I'm giving you a free pass to scream at me at the top of your lungs, if that's what it's going to take.
That's beautiful.
Not to train you
to unclog.
Not to train you to scream at someone,
to get it out,
but to show you, like, look, I am your safe person. I understand that you have emotions and that they have to come out. Which I've already proven, but like, I am here to just keep reinforcing the fact that you cannot run me off.
Lovely.
You can't.
That's right. No, you can't. So yes,
I'm not scared of your emotions.
But you have to tell your child that, which that's what I did, because they will listen, be like, no, do that. And they're like, oh, really? I can yell, and okay. They dig it. They love it.
I gave Avery permission the other day to cuss in her room with me.
Nice. Yes. So obviously, yes, that is helping our kids develop a good sense of themselves, the resilience. I mean, wow. I love it.
I know a lot of people would disagree with that, but
oh, well.
Peace out. I don't care.
Oh man. Okay, so what do we got here? That goes. Yeah. See, I mean, all this. The goal is to help a child process their emotions, develop a growth mindset, not to suppress their feelings, which inhibits them and makes things worse later in life when they have a job they don't like and they don't know how to express what's really going on. It makes them more stressed because they still can't express themselves with their emotions.
Hey, Mom.
We are recording. What is it, baby?
Hey, Mom. Will we not giving my name back?
Okay. You say, Mama said, give her her name back. Give you your name back.
Lillian, please give Jack his name back.
She'll give it back. Don't worry. Okay. So we have phrases to validate emotions. We can do that. How about let's do this one? Man up.
I hate that.
Has anyone ever heard that?
I hate that. Not in the sense of, so I do, there's a fine line, and I'm not going to articulate this properly. I know I'm not. There's a fine line between raising, I'm not going to articulate this right, raising a finger quotations sissy, finger quotations I use, and raising a secure man that is like, okay, I don't have to hold every single thing in, because then you grow up to become that hard, emotionally unavailable.
Yeah, it affects everything in their lives.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, yeah, the phrase this man up phrase is associated with a traditional view of masculinity that encourages boys and men to suppress their emotions and their vulnerabilities. This can have a negative long-term consequences, including invalidates feelings. So obviously the phrase invalidates a person's struggles by telling them their feelings are not useful or important. You're going to tell them to man up because their feelings aren't useful or important. Also, this discourages communication. So, which we basically said, all right, it teaches emotional suppression, which can make it difficult for people to communicate effectively as adults. You're raising little adults. All right, so perpetuates a damaging myth. It reinforces the idea that true strength is the absence of weakness or emotion, rather than the ability to process challenges with integrity and empathy. Besides, having emotions and crying about something is what it is to be human. Whether
it's healthy,
you're male or female, like that is, our body was designed to do that. So there's no...
It doesn't make you less of a man. It does turn you into an avoidant.
Oh my. Okay, so yeah, I did that one. Yeah, there's tons of other ones. Man, it's just...
This is all just,
You'll never amount to anything. Let's hope people aren't still saying this.
But I don't have time for this. Big kids don't act like that, which that's the same thing as like calling them a baby.
Right.
You're fine. Get over it.
Okay, so this one is the one that I got from my mom. It was mostly, get over it. Get over it, right? And so...
You're like, oh, that's so easy. Well, then who needs mental health treatment? I'm just going to get over it.
Exactly, but we didn't know, because that's what it does. It suppresses, is this really this bad? So you start lying to yourself that the situation that you're dealing with, you should be able to get through.
Which then keeps you from going your whole life without getting diagnosed with bipolar disorder, because you think that you just don't know how to handle your feelings.
Yes.
And that you just need to get over it and become a better person.
Right. So sounds like a great idea for your self-esteem, doesn't it? Right. All right. So dismissive phrases like this invalidate a child's lived experience. Maybe you scraped your knee, you felt betrayed by a friend. Either way, your pain was brushed aside, and that's exactly what it was. So yeah, my feelings didn't matter. Yours didn't either, apparently. As a result, you may now minimize your own struggles. Yes, definitely. This isn't that bad. I can deal with it.
Even if you're suffering.
Even though I can't get out of bed.
It goes back to that whole, I'm good. I got that. I'm fine. I'm good. Are you good? No.
Yeah, that's the masking. Yeah, masking. Yeah, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Sure. No.
It's all good.
Yeah, so telling yourself, it's not that bad, even when you're suffering. This habit can delay healing. And keep you from seeking help.
Ever.
Right. So...
in any way, shape, or form.
I know. But we did it anyway. We got through that. Yeah, so the truth is, you don't need to get over it. You need to move through it with compassion. That's how it is. So that's how you're supposed to be talking to the little kid, or anybody you know. It doesn't really matter. Do you dismiss your best friend's feelings? No.
Nope.
So yeah,
I'm here to embrace.
Yeah, I'm like
all of your feelings.
Although I bet some people, to their best friend, they might be like, "Yeah, man up. Yeah, man up." I would go, "Are you still friends? Are you? I don't know. Maybe not." Right? Okay.
I wouldn't.
I know, but when you're speaking to the other sex.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So obviously, yeah, you go ahead.
Why can't you be more like your brother or sister?
Yeah, that's awful.
Nope. You don't compare anybody. And so, like, especially if you have neurodivergent children, or if only one of them is neurodivergent, or like in my house, both are, but they're different types. Avery has RSD so bad. If we compliment AJ, her brother, in front of her, we have to instantly, and I mean like no pause, no gap, do not take a breath, do not pass go, do not collect $200, have a compliment ready to pop out with her, because otherwise a compliment for him, she equates with something negative about her. We're working through it, but it's a thing. So it's when you say, why can't you be more like your brother or sister?
Here.
That's all you're doing is saying,
Okay.
if you don't have the same strengths as them, then
Okay, go back.
you're nothing.
You're useless. Right. Like that's ultimately what it tells you is that how are you going to gain confidence when that's awful.
This one makes me furious. We don't talk about that in this family. Okay. This is my new favorite saying of mine. When someone says that, you can F off. And not just a little off. You can F all the way off.
All right, but so let's say it. So we don't say that in our family. Wait, what? Yes, that's how they did that back in the day.
That's when abuse got hidden.
That's right.
That is when, so silence can be as loud as criticism. In families where this phrase was common, taboo topics, feelings, conflict, mental health, even love were buried. That's why abuse, mental health went undiagnosed.
That's right.
That then teaches you that there are a lot of topics that are off limits, which can lead to, goes back to your attachment types, where you will just either shut down and you'll avoid anything that your brain has learned is a taboo topic, meaning anything to do with emotions, anything to do with stuff like that, because you learn that it is not, those things are not safe for your nervous system.
But I suppose when maybe you're a teenager then and you start to rebel, maybe you're going to go run towards those things that the family never spoke about because they just don't want to go. I mean, that absolutely can happen and probably has. And I mean, all of that. But that's so interesting because obviously because of that. But so ultimately by sitting there explaining, hey, you got 5 minutes, you can cuss, whatever, that is helping your child to be secure with themselves and their feelings and know when they should be able to cuss and not cuss. But when you're also like, oh, we just don't do this in this family, period. Like, what does that do to the child, right? Like, either they're going to just follow along. Are they going to be more susceptible to following along on somebody else's path? Yes. Okay. So, all of that. All right. We did that one. Yep. That might have been.
You say because I said I don't have time for this. Big kids don't act like that.
Oh, right. There's that one.
Do as I say, not as I do. That's why I said I apologize to my kids. If I do something, even if it wasn't to them, if they catch me doing something that I have told them not to be doing, I'll say, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done it. It was wrong of me. And I take accountability for it. And
that's it. Yes. Yeah, that's crazy. Do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, that's like a guilt trip, right? I did everything for you. Are we going to say that to our child? No, I did everything for you. Wow.
They shape your self-talk, your relationships, and even your body's stress responses. You may find yourself minimizing emotions, struggling with intimacy, or doubting your worth without realizing these patterns trace back to words spoken decades ago.
Yes. Is that crazy or what? Oh, right. Yeah, we already said that part. All these things can lead you to mask more or to be stuck in fawning all the time, which still is not good, which is where a lot of abuse can come in because you just go with it.
Because you would rather put up, because your nervous system is wired for chaos, you would rather put up with 99% shit and live for that 1% of good than you would give up that 1% of good, because it gives you so much dopamine. It fills you with so much hope that more good could potentially come as long as you behave well enough, as long as you're patient enough. You're willing to sacrifice the rest of your happiness to just keep living for these little breadcrumbs of 1%.
Awful. All right. So some phrases to validate emotions and encourage resilience. I see you're feeling frustrated. It's okay to feel that way. What what can we do together to solve this? This approach acknowledges their feelings and models problem solving. Absolutely. This is hard, but I believe you can handle it. Obviously validates the difficulty, whether it's like tying your shoes, putting your shoes on. I see you're struggling to put your shoes on. Well, let's do it together. You know,
That's what, so in class, that's one thing. The kids are not allowed to say, this was so easy. Like if they're doing worksheets and one kid finishes first, or even while they're doing it, I do not let them say, this was so easy, because, and I'll immediately say, okay, that's great. But what is easy for you might not be easy for someone else, because there's always some kids' body language that I can see shift or change. And so I will immediately throw in, when I was a kid, this was really hard for me. Or I'll say, I was always the last one done, even if it's something even if it was not true. Or I would say,
I was totally the last one.
Like I never finished my work. I always had to finish it at home. Or, I had a really hard time paying attention. I tell them they are not allowed to just say, this was so easy, because it automatically, like it does to Avery, it will shut her down, because she'll think, okay, it was easy for them. It's not for me. Obviously, I'm stupid.
Right. Why isn't I can't do this. And then it's just like, a downward spiral, negative downward spiral in the self-talk. Ugh. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what do you need to help get you through this? Right. That's awesome. It helps the child practice self-awareness and teaches them to self-regulate rather than relying on others to fix their feelings.
Yes, you cannot rely on someone else. Someone else cannot be responsible for your happiness. I just said.
We were talking about that a little bit earlier this morning, weren't we, Mag?
I just said that on my avoidant thing. I'm like, look, if you are in a position where you do not currently love yourself, then the last thing you need to be doing is looking for a girlfriend, looking for a boyfriend. Because all you're going to do then, you've got this void. You are going to make it that other person's responsibility to fill that void. Ooh. Especially, like I said, when you're an anxious attachment type. And that is going to cause you to spiral even more when that person is not giving you what you need, or enough of it, or for long enough to feed
the beast.
To feed the beast.
Will never be fed. Yeah, you'll never be able to feed it enough, right?
Yes, that is actually such a perfect, feed the beast.
Because it has nothing to do with the outward situation. It has to do with the inward, in your self-worth and what yes. It's okay to feel sad, scared, or angry. Crying is a natural. Oh, I think I already said this. Crying is a natural way to let those feelings out. This counters the traditional messaging that emotions like crying are signs of weakness. No, they are human nature. That's what we do. Our body was made to do that. You cry when you're happy too, right? Okay. So, and
the Bible even says there is strength and weakness. So just say
obviously we can do hard things. The simple phrase normalizes challenges and encourages perseverance.
And also even rephrasing. So I used to have this on a paper up in the other classroom, that there was things that you had to, instead of saying this, you had to say that. So like, what was one of them? So it was like, instead of saying, I can't do this, they weren't allowed to say that. They had to, if they had to say something, they would go, I'm not quite there yet. Or instead of, this is too hard, they had to say, I'm getting better at this.
Right. That's right. Those little, yes. Oh man, those are little ways to keep that positive thing going and keep your brain saying that.
I'm so slow at this. No, they're not allowed to say that. Instead, they had to say, I'm getting better and better at this every day. So they were still allowed to express their frustration, but I would not allow them to say it in a way that was going to reinforce negative feelings about themselves. They had to rephrase it in a way that was anchored in progress, not like, in progress and not in failure.
Well, just like practice doesn't make perfect. You can't say that. It does not make practice makes progress.
And you may not ever practice, may not ever get there.
But it makes progress.
It
from the
does make
last step,
progress.
from
It
the last
does.
step.
But even if you're doing it and you never get there, I don't think I will ever be a world-class gymnast. I could learn to do a cartwheel, and then my cartwheels would get better and better.
Yes.
That's as good as it's going to get.
And that's okay, because then you're like, oh, on to the next thing.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. You got to be okay with not being the best. That's all right.
Yep. That's all I have on this. Even though I'm sure there's more sayings. Oh, well, there's, okay. Daddy's busy. Leave me alone. Yelling when a child misbehaves. Okay. Wait, I am guilty of that, except there's like a lot of factors. So I did yell, and then I was like, oh, wait, I totally messed up. I'm so sorry. I should not have yelled at you. Like, okay. So there was actually a situation where my kid's father came home, and he's coming in to say goodnight to the kids, and the kids, they just turn into these charged batteries, and they're bouncing off the wall, and they're getting even more excited. They, the boys got in trouble. Like, don't get me wrong. I have been like, you gotta stop. But this just obviously just doesn't help. And what we figured out was we need you to take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, right? Take a deep breath. Because when I asked my son, I was like, you couldn't stop, could you? No, I could not stop. I go, okay, I have to help you to try to stop, because I was like, I know you got in trouble for not stopping. I said, but I know that it's not your fault. So we're going to work on this. But yeah, that has obviously been difficult.
I'm so proud of you. That's so good.
Oh, thanks. Here's, I'm always right. That's not,
anybody that says that's full of shit.
Oh, I know, right? If they're like, oh, I don't, or yeah, everyone that says something like that, I'm like, okay, I'm like, avoid. I have this radar, avoid.
Exactly.
But
that's like the people that think they don't need therapy or that there's nothing wrong with them. I'm like, okay, you're a serial killer. Because what's the first thing they say when they catch a serial killer? The neighbors always go, they seem so normal.
No, we're super weird. We're weird here.
You got some bodies in your basement.
Yeah, that's it.
That's an autistic thing.
I think
turning everything into a song out of nowhere.
It's all right.
I'd be like, this sucks.
Echolalia.
Yeah, echolalia. Yeah.
Or like, oh, that's right. You're like,
yeah.
You make it sound like a ukulalia when you say.
Do I say it wrong?
No, I don't know.
Is it echolalia?
I think so, but when you say,
I like echolalia.
See, reminds me of ukulele.
Avery couldn't read the word frequency yesterday. And so she's like, frequent, wrinkle. So she just called it wrinkly.
Oh, there was this one. Lily was telling me something about princesses, and I'm not into princesses, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, there was this one time we were in the store, and this old guy or whatever just kind of walked through and just made the comment, what a pretty, pretty princess. And she goes, I am not a princess. She loves that story now. She's like, oh man. She's like, I don't remember that. I was like, you were yay big. And yeah, that's exactly what you said. Because she was very literal. And she was like, I am not a princess. I mean.
Well, the boys are like that. So I was just in the hallway earlier, and Jet was that's her youngest. And he was on the floor. And I was like, oh, pardon me, love bug. And he's like, I'm not a bug. And I'm like, no, baby, like, Miss Michelle calls everybody like love, honey, sweetie, baby, love bug, sweetie pie.
I've tried to explain to him it's an endearing term. Like, I'm like, come here, honey. He goes, I'm not honey.
Yeah, I'm like, it means that I love you.
Right, I know.
That's what it means.
Then he's like, I love you too, Mom. But I'm not that.
I'm not a bug.
Gosh. Yeah, he takes it so literal. So yes, I love it.
So I think I don't have a WTF or
I think we're done.
Or a win.
That's
this week. Well, no, you know what? No, I lied.
Okay.
I do have a win. It's a win that...
Wait, you didn't lie. You just forgot.
I didn't lie. I forgot.
Yeah.
It actually... So, you remember last week, the whole thing about me, like, I don't know how I'm going to cut this person out of my life. I don't know how I'm going to stop. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay. I thought... Okay.
So, I did have, like, and you said, well, how are you going to keep from... If they do reach out, how are you going to assure yourself?
Right.
That made the decision for me today. Or actually yesterday, but especially it sealed the deal today. I will have 0 problem. Edward Scissorhands, that it is a relief. The situation sucks, but yeah, so
Okay, then.
I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah. Good.
Decision
Decision was made. Basically, like, you're like, oh, never go back. Good.
Yep. Yeah.
Mhm.
Bridge
Mhm.
burned.
Right. All right.
No survivors.
Oh, before we end, some of the things that I got, some of these phrases I got directly from artfulparent.com, just so you
I'll
have
tag
some
them.
of that info in there. But yeah, the other was other research, but I had to say that.
And
as
I
a
will
reference.
I will tag the links to the other stuff that we have talked about. But otherwise, I'm Michelle.
I'm Lindsay.
This is ADHD How To and
WTF.
thank you.
Have a great week. Oh, weekend.